Hello everyone, Niklsun here, and welcome to Coming Soon Movie News with Niklsun. I'm your host, and on this show, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we'll be going over all of the day's movie news, as well as going over what it means for the production in general, such as casting decisions, trailer announcements, director announcements, things like that. So, without any further ado, let's get started with today's Hot Topics. Just before I get into today's topics, I just wanted to let everybody know that as of next week, episodes should be going up at the regular times on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So my work schedule has been really hectic recently and going around doing other things outside of work as well. I haven't been able to keep episodes coming out at the regular time. So if you guys want to get updates and all that, or if you see that there aren't any episodes going out, check the Facebook page, facebook.com/movie news with Niklsun. I post updates on there all the time about whether or not there's going to be an episode that day or whatever the case is going on, what some of the topics might be about. So check out the Facebook page, facebook.com/movie news with Niklsun, if you guys are ever curious as to why there might not be an episode that day or whatever the case may be. So definitely check that out if you guys are ever wondering about that kind of stuff. So without any further ado, let's get started with today's topics. So Zack Snyder, there's been a lot of rumors and conjecture going around as to when we're actually going to see the Batman v Superman teaser. And it was officially confirmed that we're going to see it in front of Mad Max Fury Road. That's going to be the movie that it was going to originally theatrically debut. Now it looks like not only is it going to theatrically debut with Avengers Age of Ultron, which is, it hasn't been confirmed by Warner Brothers yet, but that looks like it's the going theory right now. Zack Snyder has actually tweeted out a little snippet of what the trailer is going to include. You can actually check that out by the graphic behind me. That's the new look at the new Batsuit that Ben Affleck will be wearing. But more importantly than that, there is a massive IMAX event that is happening on Monday. Now, this is going to coincide with the official trailer release. From my understanding, the trailer will be officially online on Monday, Monday, April 20th. So, this IMAX event, I am stoked. I managed to secure one of the tickets for the Toronto screening. Monday night at 7 o'clock, I will be in Toronto watching the IMAX event. I am going to try to put my reaction up to that as soon as I see it. Now, again, it's not going to be from my studio because I have to go to Toronto. But I will be putting up my reaction for that on the channel, so definitely check back for that. But this is such a brilliant way of doing it, of starting their marketing campaign, because it's been a while since we've seen this, since we've seen the IMAX event. The last one that I can remember was the original Hobbit movie that came out, because they showed about 8 or 9 minutes from Star Trek Into Darkness. And they used to do that for a while before that. They did that with I Am Legend, that showed us the first 5 or 6 minutes of The Dark Knight. They did that again with, what movie was it that showed Dark Knight Rises? I want to say it was Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, but I might be incorrect on that. I think it was Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. If you saw that in IMAX, you got like the first 5 or 6 minutes of The Dark Knight Rises. And it's been a while since they've done something like this, so I'm really glad to see that they are keeping in line with the DC universe and marketing it kind of the same way that the previous films have done, with giving special events at IMAX. Now, we still don't know what else is going to be included in this. They may very well just show the same trailer that we're going to be getting online. From my understanding, it is a 15-minute segment or whatever it is. I don't know if it's going to be a full 15 minutes of footage, if it's going to be an introduction from Zack Snyder, because apparently he's going to be given a video presentation as well. Whether that's behind-the-scenes footage talking about the movie or whatever, and then we get the trailer, we still don't know. Maybe we'll get the trailer plus a clip. It's still undecided. We still have no idea what's going to be included. This actually takes me back to when Tron Legacy was starting out, because they ran, it was over a year before the movie came out, they ran a fan campaign, and you had to go online and to all these different locations and try to find all of these different puzzles and different answers to these questions. And if you did, you were then able to get tickets to a premiere event, which ended up being the debut of the trailer for the movie that came. Everybody got to see it in IMAX like a month or two before it was debuted to the public. And so I got to go to that event too, which was actually really cool. The problem with that, though, was that when we got there, like, waited in line, took the train all the way to Toronto to get there, went in, sat down, got our tickets, we actually got these really cool shirts. If you've ever seen me wearing the Flynn Lives shirt, that's actually where I got it from. It was a special event. They only handed them out there. But they showed the trailer, which was about 2 minutes or so, and then they're like, all right, thanks everybody for coming, see you later. And it was, what? Like, it was only 2 minutes. So this is something I think that is going to have a bigger impact. I think it's going to be really cool to see it with all the fans and all that kind of stuff. So I'm really excited about it. But let's get into what we saw with this little tiny clip. Really, the only thing of note is the Batsuit. And also, if you listen closely, that is the new music. So that, I believe, is going to be a mixture of the Man of Steel score with Junkie XL's version of his Batman score, because from what we've been hearing, each of the heroes are going to have their individual scores, and those are all going to be meshed together to make the Justice League score. I wonder if we're going to have a precursor of that with Batman v Superman, with them having Batman and Superman's themes kind of crossing over and getting a little taste of what we're going to get in Justice League. But I'm really excited for this. The trailer is reported to be 2 minutes and 6 seconds. So it's going to be a substantial trailer. Now, whether or not it's going to be Batman-centric, which has been the rumor all along, from my understanding with this, the original script for Batman v Superman was very Batman-centric. They were really focusing on that aspect of this story while using the Man of Steel cast and continuing storyline to unveil the Batman character and to further cement him into a shared universe. But I believe that's been scaled back since Chris Terrio was brought on to write the script. I think he was brought on to broaden the movie because I think at that point, Batman v Superman, they knew full well, once they started getting into that, they're like, okay, we've got a cool thing here. We're going to expand. We're going to go full board into Justice League. We're going to use this movie as a launching pad for a lot of those characters, whether it be Aquaman, whether it be Flash, Cyborg, whatever the case is. And so they brought Chris Terrio in to scale back Batman's integral role in the movie just by a little bit and introduce more of these characters. So with that, I do think that this trailer is going to be kind of a half and half. I think we're going to see what the world is like now after the events of Man of Steel and seeing how Batman and Bruce Wayne are kind of taking this in and seeing how this is going to affect them. Because if they're taking as much inspiration from The Dark Knight Returns as I believe they are, then we are going to get a Batman who has most likely been retired for 5 or 10 years. And so now this is bringing him back into the foil. It's bringing him back into the spotlight. Well, I mean, back into the shadows. But yeah, no, I'm really excited for this. I cannot wait. I am so stoked to be able to go to this IMAX event on Monday. My one hope, though, even though the trailer is said to be 2 minutes and 6 seconds, whether that's true or not is still up for grabs. But I hope this is not another Godzilla teaser trailer, because I remember waiting and waiting and waiting when they announced we were going to be getting that Godzilla teaser trailer. And when we saw it, it set the mood of the movie, absolutely. But it didn't show us anything. We got nothing from that. It had really cool imagery, yes, but we didn't get anything else from it. So I still don't know exactly what we're going to get from this. I mean, Batman v Superman is going to be opening up in March of next year, so we still got like 11 months before this movie opens. So I don't know how much actual action footage we're going to get. The CGI work is not going to be completed. There might be some shots that are completed, because remember, they started filming this movie like a year ago. They started filming, I think, back in April or May of last year, right around the time that it was shortly after Avengers started shooting. So they should have something that they can show us, something substantial, which I'm really hoping for. I just hope it's not like kind of like the Man of Steel teaser trailer. We don't need something like that anymore. That was to get us introduced to this world. This teaser trailer needs to introduce us to what the stakes are going to be in this movie. We already know Batman and Superman are going to fight. We know that that's going to happen. But what else is going to happen? I don't think we're going to get a shot of Aquaman. We're not going to get a shot of Wonder Woman. We might get a shot of Diana, but we will not get a shot of Wonder Woman. At least that's my prediction. I think this is going to really focus more on Superman and Batman and really their connections to each other and how the implications of the last film are really going to impact this film. So that's what I think is going to happen. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think is going to happen. Are you guys excited for the trailer? I mean, come on, let's be honest. Most people are going to be interested in this trailer and excited for it. So, yeah, I'm on board for it. The trailer's going to be officially debuting Monday night. If it's online before that, if I can catch it during Monday's episode, then I'll definitely talk about it. But, yeah, I'm stoked for this IMAX event. So, yeah, keep your ears peeled to this. And, yeah, when we do have more information about this topic, when we finally get to see the Batman v Superman teaser trailer, which I'm excited for, I do still think it's a little bit early for this for the footage to come out, but still, I'm excited for it. I just hope we don't get too much spoiled now, and then what I would like, actually, if they could do this, if they give us a trailer that has enough substantial footage in it, we can wait like 6 months before we get another trailer, and that gives them enough time to construct a new trailer that might include new footage, but not spoilery. Because that's my only worry, is that we're going to get so many trailers for the movie that we're going to know a lot about it going in. That's why I haven't watched a trailer for Avengers since that minute-long trailer came out a couple of weeks ago. I haven't watched any of the TV spots or anything like that because I don't want to be spoiled. Because I feel that all the really cool moments are going to be shown in the trailer. And that's my worry. I don't think we're going to get that with this teaser trailer, but I think in the future marketing campaign of Batman v Superman, that may end up happening. And that's my only worry. But as it stands right now for the teaser, I am stoked. I cannot wait to see this. I can't wait to see Ben Affleck in the Batsuit in motion. I can't wait to see what the Batmobile looks like, if we're going to get a reveal of how the motivations of Lex Luthor are going to be portrayed in this movie, all that kind of stuff. I'm stoked for it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and when we do get more information about this topic, I will definitely update you guys on here. Speaking of other DC movies, it looks as though DC's Wonder Woman took a massive blow creatively this week. It was announced that Michelle MacLaren, who was handpicked to be the director of Wonder Woman, has actually left the project due to creative differences. Now, that term is thrown around a lot in Hollywood. Now, this is very reminiscent to what happened with Thor 2, which is kind of ironic once you figure out what the story is. So Patty Jenkins had originally been signed on to direct Thor 2. He was going to be the first female director for a superhero film in the new age. I mean, Lexi Alexander did the Punisher Warzone, but this is going to be in the new age of superhero movies and the shared universe movies. This is going to be a major comic book film that was helmed by a female. And that was big. That was huge. And looking at her previous filmography, she didn't have a lot of films on there, but everything that was on there was strong, especially Monster. If you haven't seen Monster with Charlize Theron, where she played a serial killer, and she won the Academy Award for that, you got to check it out. It's a great movie, great character study, really well acted, and very well directed. And I was very excited to see what Patty Jenkins could do with that movie. That being said, I liked what Alan Taylor ended up doing with the film, but Patty Jenkins was then taken off the project due to creative differences, and they ended up going with, first it was Brian Kirk, then it was Alan Taylor. But with Michelle MacLaren came on board, Patty Jenkins' name was one of the names that was thrown around, although it wasn't really widely talked about. But Michelle MacLaren, from what I'm hearing, if you read on like Badass Digest or you read on Collider, apparently they weren't agreeing on anything. And I don't understand how that's possible. I have a theory as to what I think may have happened, and if it's true, Michelle MacLaren is a friggin' idiot. And that's why I don't think that is true, but I think it warrants enough to just be mentioned. I'm wondering if when she met with Warner Brothers and they talked about what their pitch was for the movie, she held back a lot of the really questionable things about what she wanted to do with the movie because she really wanted the job. So she said, oh yeah, like told them everything they wanted to hear. This is what my vision is. This is what I want to do with it. This is where I want to take the character. This is where, this is what we want to do with it. And then they said, oh, perfect. That's what we want to. All right, you got the job. And then she goes, all right, sweet, I got the job. Now I can play in the sandbox. And then it just kind of went to shit. And I mean, I don't know if that's true. I can't see that being true, but then you read about what some of the things, again, this is all rumor and conjecture. This has not been confirmed by Warner Brothers or McLaren's people or anything of that sort, but apparently there were things like she wanted to include a sidekick tiger that Wonder Woman could talk back and forth to, which to me is, even if it's from the source material, in a live action film that's going to be taking place in this type of a universe, that to me is inherently silly and kind of stupid. It wouldn't make sense in this world. It would be very jokey and very corny, which is going to fall right out of line. That wouldn't even fit to me in a Marvel film, depending on what type of film it was. If it was in a Guardians of the Galaxy, for sure, that movie inherently is already playing with silly. It's already playing with, we're jokey, we're not really taking ourselves seriously, but there's big, cosmic circumstances at the forefront. But with Wonder Woman, apparently they couldn't agree on, again, this is rumor and conjecture, but apparently they couldn't agree on the time frame to set the movie. They couldn't agree on, I don't even think they could agree on the villain to use. I don't think they could agree on hardly anything, which is really surprising to me because Michelle MacLaren was one of the people who everybody kind of wanted her for the role. If it wasn't going to be, I think she was in the top 3. And screwing up this choice, to me, is inherently stupid on her part. But again, we don't know the specifics as to what had happened. If it did happen that way and she just hid a lot of stuff, or she just wanted to go really crazy wild and thought she could get away with it with a $200 million film, is asinine. Like, that is just stupid to me. I don't think that with Michelle MacLaren's filmography, I don't think that she's that type of person. But again, we just don't know. But the ironic part is, Patty Jenkins has been tagged as her replacement. Warner Brothers has secured the deal to get Patty Jenkins to direct Wonder Woman, which I think is one of the most ironic things on the face of the planet. Originally set to direct Thor 2, Marvel kicked her to the curb for unknown reasons, and I believe that she was going to stray too far away from what they wanted the movie to be. She was going to make it too dark. That was my understanding when that actually went down. So if that's the case, she is a perfect fit for Wonder Woman. This movie needs to be darker. This movie needs to be more serious, especially considering that now Wonder Woman in this DC cinematic universe is of Greek descendants. She is a descendant of Zeus. I believe Zeus is her father in the movie. So that there's a lot of room to play with that. There's a lot of areas they can go. I still have my hesitation. I do not want to see the movie set in the 20s. To me, I don't want to see that. We're going to have her in Batman v Superman first, and then go back to Wonder Woman just to tell her origin story when we don't even... That could be summed up in 5 to 10 minutes, or even told just in flashbacks in a movie. But have it said either in modern time to continue the story of Wonder Woman and see where her character goes leading into Justice League, instead of having her character's motivations in Batman v Superman deciding where she's going to go in Justice League, and then having the Wonder Woman movie just be set before it. Just to say, oh, this is how she got her lasso. You know, if she has a scar on her neck, this is how she got the scar on her neck, you know? Anything like that. And I don't want that in the Wonder Woman movie. I want to see the story be pushed forward. Only because, unless, like, if they were going to do, like what they're doing with Aquaman, that's why I don't have a problem with Aquaman being kind of a prequel. Because we're going to have him in Batman v Superman, and then we're going to have him in Justice League Part 1. Then we're going to have an Aquaman movie to kind of go back and explain maybe how he became the King of Atlantis or anything of that sort. And then we'll have the conclusion of that storyline that's been already built up in the previous 2 films to be concluded in Justice League Part 2. So there's ways around that. But with Wonder Woman, I don't want it to be a prequel. I want it to be a continuation of her story leading into Justice League, because it's the movie that comes out right before Justice League. I think that's the only way that they should go. But again, I don't know what type of movie they're trying to set up. I don't know where the characterizations are going to come from or anything of that sort. But having somebody like Patty Jenkins come in, I think that's a genius move. She's going to make the movie darker. She's going to make it more serious, more grounded. While still playing with Greek mythology and all that kind of stuff. That's what I'm excited about. Seeing that put into a realistic context. I think that's going to be really cool. But again, we still have a lot of time before that's going to happen. I do have a feeling, though, that this was in the cards for a while. I have a feeling WB knew very well that Michelle MacLaren wasn't working out, and they started to secure a replacement. Because they got her on board within 2 days. That is almost unheard of, to have a replacement director, unless the wheels have been in motion for weeks, which I think maybe MacLaren's actually been off the project for a while. I think she's probably been off for about 3 to 4 weeks. And this was just when they did the announcement, because they knew, okay, well, we found the replacement, deal is in motion, let's announce that Michelle MacLaren is off the project, let that fester for a couple of days, then once the deal is actually signed in 2 or 3 days, we're then going to announce Patty Jenkins. And I think that's what actually happened. But still, it's all kind of conjecture at this point because we really don't know. But as long as they don't go too silly and kind of stupid, they can still go weird. They can still go weird, but don't go silly. Don't go talking tiger sidekick. You know, I don't want to see that. That to me is just dumb. But yeah, what do you guys think of Patty Jenkins coming on board? I think it's a stroke of genius. I think it's a way for DC to say, hey, anybody, Marvel, anybody that you guys let go of, we're going to snatch up. If they're, like, you guys are looking at them for a reason, so we're not going to underscore their talent. If you guys are looking at them and it just doesn't work out for whatever reason, we're going to then inquire about them because, I mean, why not? Marvel's looking at them. Marvel's the most successful film studio right now in terms of the quality over quality over quality over quality. You know, they haven't really put out a bad film yet. Arguably, people can say that Iron Man 2 was lackluster, but it wasn't a bad film. It was just lackluster. But yeah, I mean, now they have, we thought that there was going to be a lot of problems with Wonder Woman after MacLaren left. 2 days later, Jenkins signs up. They have a well-oiled machine going on at Warner Brothers. I am not scared about this whatsoever. Wonder Woman is set for release on June 23rd, 2017. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about all of these decisions and changes that are happening with the DC Universe. And if you're happy with them or if you have any hesitations about it, let me know in the comment section below. And if we do get more information about this topic, I will definitely update you guys on here. Marvel surprised everybody the other day with unveiling the brand new trailer for their upcoming Ant-Man. Now, I was under the impression that we were not going to see an Ant-Man trailer until maybe the release of Age of Ultron, because it might get swallowed up in the Age of Ultron marketing. But when I think back on it now, this was the perfect way to do it. Release it in the fervor of the Avengers marketing campaign, because it's only going to add to it. It's like, oh, Marvel's got Avengers coming out. Here's the next one, you know? And I think that's the best way that they could have done it. I'm actually happy that they did it now instead of after Age of Ultron, because it was going to get kind of lost in the shuffle there, looking now at what the landscape is going to be in the next month or two with trailers. So they were just genius with being able to do that. On top of that, this is the trailer we've been waiting for. This is the trailer that we wanted to see all along. Now, I've gone on record and talked about the original trailer that came out, because what happened with that one, Marvel needed help with Age of Ultron, or with Agent Carter. And what better way to help a show than to debut a trailer for one of their upcoming movies at the premiere episode, and have that, you know, premiere near the end of the first or second episode. But there were a couple of hiccups there. They couldn't show a new trailer for Age of Ultron because they were already going to be showing the following week a brand new trailer for Age of Ultron during, I believe it was either the college basketball or the college football finals. I think it was the college basketball finals. No, sorry, it was the college football finals. But so they couldn't show an Age of Ultron trailer. What else did they have? Well, they don't have anything else on the gambit yet, but they do have Ant-Man. Okay, well, let's see if we can put an Ant-Man trailer together. Well, we don't have any of the special effects ready. Okay, well, let's construct something. And so they took the footage they had with the concept footage they had from Comic-Con, and they meshed together a trailer that kind of gave you the sense of an idea of what the movie might be about. But it's still, while I still like the trailer, it was kind of lackluster. It was kind of it was kind of underwhelming. But still, we got an idea of what the movie was going to be. They didn't put enough jokes in it. They were too serious with it. This trailer, they brought out the funny. All right? So there were a lot of really kind of laugh out loud moments in the trailer. The funniest moment, as everybody else has been talking about online, is the sequence with the Thomas the Tank Engine train at the end. When you got Yellow Jacket, who, by the way, that looks incredible. I mean, that is an awesome, awesome looking villain. He is going to be one intimidating villain. I do, on the other hand, think that he's going to be a lackluster villain. I think he's going to be kind of all show, no real substance. I think he's going to be a one-and-done villain. I don't think we're going to see him back again, which is a little bit of a downside, because the potential of something like this, unless we see the movie, and that suit's featured heavily in the movie, I think the downside is that we're not going to see a suit like this again, at least for a while. But still, he looks incredible. He looks powerful. Those little pincers that he has there, they shoot out little like laser beams and all that kind of stuff. It looks just so cool. But having them fight on the little toy train set, and shot in the way that it looks like it's shot on a big train set, on a big train that's actually, you know, going through somewhere, and then you see Yellow Jacket cowering in front of the train, and then the train hits and it cuts to what it actually looks like from a human perspective, and it's just this little toy train. You know, I mean, I almost teared up. I was laughing so hard. I was like, yes! That is the type of humor this movie needs. That is the way that this movie needs to be marketed. On top of that, you got the, you know, show me how to throw a punch. Show me how to throw a punch. He puts his hand up for her to punch it, and she punches him right in the face. She's like, yeah, that's how you throw a punch. You know, the other line of Paul Rudd talking to Michael Douglas and saying, you know, thank you for my second chance. I swear I'm not going to, my days of breaking into a place and stealing stuff are over. And then he goes, what do you want me to do? And Michael Douglas goes, I want you to break into a place and steal some stuff. And Paul Rudd's like, yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. I mean, it was just the way it was delivered, you know? I mean, it was so perfect. Paul Rudd, I think, is the king of comedic timing. I personally don't know anybody else out there who is just as on point as he is all the time. There are a couple others who will give him a run for his money, don't get me wrong, but he to me is one of the perfect ones out there, just for boom, 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 boom. Like, he's just always on point with his comedic timing. So I'm on board with this. The action looks like it's a hell of a lot of fun. The stakes actually look bigger. Seeing him, flipping over top of that gun and then running along the top of the gun. Playing with the going small and going big, I think this movie is going to be a hell of a lot of fun. I think it looks really interesting, really intriguing. I'm just curious as to how this movie is going to fit in to the future of the MCU. That's my only concern. Is Ant-Man going to actually be featured in Infinity War? Because I'm not sure how he could be utilized. Infinity War is going to be, what I'm picturing in my head is something along the lines of what we got at the end of the first Avengers, with the big, massive, citywide, battle that's going on. But it's going to be with a lot more. It's going to be with a lot more villains. It's going to be with a lot more heroes as well, because they have just recently come out and stated that Thanos is not going to be the only villain in Infinity War. Sorry, they haven't gone any further than that. We don't know what other villains are going to be included, but it makes sense for him to not be the only villain in the movie. So, I mean, just even in Avengers Age of Ultron, you got Ulysses Claw, you've got Baron von Strucker. I mean, depending on, I haven't seen the movie yet, but we also have, Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch for a moment in time in the movie that are going to be villains. Vision may very well be a villain. We still don't know. I've been purposely not looking into any of that stuff because I want to go into the movie. I have back-to-back screenings that I'm going to on the 30th, and I'm stoked for it. I believe it's at like 7:30 and 10:30, so I am so excited for it. Both in IMAX. I'm on board. But yeah, like the small-scale sequences look even better than I had imagined. I mean, Peyton Reed really looks to have a handle on this. He really looks like he knows what exactly he's looking for. And ever since it was initially announced, I was pessimistic because I said, even before Peyton Reed was announced, I said they're going to get a yes man director. They're going to get it. Marvel's going to look for a guy who they can just go in and say, you're going to do this, 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 and you go, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. And lo and behold, they went and actually got the director of the movie, Yes Man. So I thought that was a little bit on the nose. But the dude's a geek. The dude is a hardcore nerd. He loves comic books. He knows this world. And so this is one of those cases where somebody might not be all that great, or at least might be good, but just hasn't really excelled very well in a specific field until they're given the right project and when they really find their footing. And I think this is the case with Peyton Reed. I think we're going to be in for a shock when Ant-Man comes out and it's as entertaining as it looks like it could be. I'm on board with it. I think it's going to be great. Ant-Man's going to be opening up on July 17th of this year, which, I mean, it's right in the center of summer. This summer movie season looks like it's going to be bigger than any one we've had in the last couple of years. So I'm on board with it. Movie's coming out on July 17th. If you guys have any comments or topics you want to talk about this movie, put a comment in the comment section below. But if we do get more information about this topic, I will definitely update you guys on here. With this being trailer week, we have a brand new look at the upcoming Terminator GENISYS. And, I gotta tell you, I'm a little surprised that we got this trailer as early as we did. The movie doesn't open until July 1st, yet we have now an official second, or even, I guess you could call it a third trailer if you really want to. It's surprising how much footage this actually showed. Now, we don't know how impactful of a twist this actually is in the film. There could be others, but from my understanding, this is the big twist that happens in the movie, and they revealed it in the trailer. So, putting that aside for a second, I liked the twist. I really do. I'm not, for those of you who haven't watched the trailer, you don't want to know about the twist, I recommend not watching the trailer because it does give away a pretty specific plot point if you guys haven't already read about it. So I'm not going to give any of the specifics away, but to me, it works. It's something that is new. It's something that is fresh, and it is keeping in with the whole time disruption element of this series. The fact that when you deal with time travel, if somebody goes back in time, then the ripple effect could be disastrous. And what other things could you change? So the one thing this movie has already set up is the fact that it is going to be set in multiple different time frames. So we know it's going to be set in the future. We know it's going to be set in the 80s, and we know it's going to be set in the 90s. Apparently, also, there's going to be a modern-day sequence as well. But they haven't come out and confirmed that. It's just when you watch the trailer, you can see modern-day cars. So I don't know exactly what's happening there, but they are going to be at certain points of the movie traveling through time. We still don't know how they're going to be doing that or anything of that sort. But when you see what them going back in time, because there's a Terminator, apparently they sent a Terminator back even further. I guess they found out that sending the Terminator back didn't work for them, so when they sent it back even further. We don't even know if it's the Resistance that sent that back, but a Terminator goes back basically when Sarah Connor was 8 or 9, and saves her from something or does something to protect her, and then takes up the responsibility of being like her father figure, and then raises her. And so when Kyle Reese is sent back to 1984 to protect Sarah Connor from the T-800, well, he finds out that she's not alone. She already knows about everything. She's already well ahead of the plan. And Arnold actually is going to have a big fight with younger Arnold, which, from what I'm getting from these trailers, that is going to be a pretty big, substantial sequence in the movie, and they are only just barely teasing it. Now, whether that's because the CGI just isn't done yet, or it's just not up to the standards that they want yet, or that's going to be one of the standout sequences in the movie, and they're really trying to keep that close to the vest. So, I mean, there's a lot of rumors and things like that are going around about that sequence, but I'm interested to see it. It looks really cool from the trailer, from what we saw, the little tiny, like 2 or 3 seconds that we saw of that fight. But we get a little bit more of an explanation for the helicopter sequence that's always been shown in all the trailers so far. The bridge sequence, we get a further explanation for that as well. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for this movie. I think it's going to be really fun. Now, there's going to be a difference between whether or not it's a good Terminator movie, a great Terminator movie, or an entertaining Terminator film. And you really have to kind of separate that, because you can still have an entertaining Terminator film without it actually being a quality Terminator film. I mean, again, I just go back to something like, I'm not saying that it's going to be like this, but in terms of how I perceived the film, I can see this potentially being like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, a movie that, while on the surface, most people would agree, it's not a great movie, but it's a hell of a lot of fun. It's an entertaining movie, and it did its job. It got you in the seat. It got you your adrenaline pumped. You watched some really cool action sequences. You had some laughs. There looked to be a little bit of humor in this trailer as well, with the whole, I'm teaching him how to blend in. He does that exaggerated smile. So yeah, I'm on board with it. When it comes to the new Terminator that's in the movie, I like the design. I like the concept, and I like the idea behind it. The execution is where it really needs to hit home. If they can do that character right, because without spoiling it, the actor in question had done an interview while they were actually shooting the movie. And this was an embargoed interview. It wasn't able to come out until that information was actually unveiled. And so they talked about how, like, this is a stepping stone. This movie is going to be the first part of a trilogy. It's going to be an overarching storyline. So whether or not this is, I don't think this is going to be concluded in this film. I think this is going to be, we're only going to get the initial seeds. We're only going to get the initial ideas of where this new trilogy is going in this film. We're not going to get a lot of resolutions. Those are going to come later. Those are going to come either in Terminator or Genisys 2 or Genisys 3. I do believe, however, that Arnold is only going to be in this film as this Terminator. I don't think we're going to see this older Terminator past this movie. I think he's going to sacrifice himself like he has in the other films to protect either Sarah or John Connor. So, I mean, again, we still don't know all that much about the film, but with this trailer, we know a lot more than I think we should have at this point. But still, I'm on board with it. I think it looks cool. I think it looks pretty intense. James Cameron himself has given his seal of approval on this film, so I don't know how far that goes with anybody, but they actually they went to him and asked him about how to do all this stuff. He's the one who actually gave them the idea about having the aged Terminator, because they said the biological skin on him can actually age, while the Terminator himself is still the same Terminator, but he himself can actually visibly look older. And I think that's a really cool way to go about it. There's a lot of new aspects to the Terminator franchise they're introducing in this movie, so I'm on board with it. But more importantly, what do you guys think about this? Do you like the trailer? Do you like the twist? I myself, again, I liked the twist, but I would have rather not it been in the trailer, unless it's going to happen in the first half of the movie, the first third of the movie, or whatever the case is, because then it's not that much of a spoiler. If you go in watching the movie and you're like, okay, that's it, all right, now we're in motion, and then you go, oh wait, who's Matt Smith playing? Oh, wow! You know, I mean, from what I'm told, like, they're keeping his character close to the vest as well. There was a leaked bit of information that came out that the studio had them take down. Whether or not that means it's valid or not is still up for grabs. Usually when a studio acts that quickly to have something taken down, it's legitimate. I did not read it. I did not investigate it. Apparently, you can Google search it and find it yourself. So if you are interested to see who Matt Smith plays in the movie, then you can go ahead and Google search it. But I would advise against it because all you're going to do is go into a movie and you're going to know most of the things that are going to happen throughout it before you've even seen it. And then it doesn't become as entertaining as it should be. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about this trailer. Did you enjoy it as much as I did? What are your concerns about it? All that kind of stuff. Put a comment in the comment section below. And if we do get more information about this topic, I will definitely update you guys on here. Well, that'll about do it for this installment of Coming Soon Movie News with Niklsun. Thank you so much for watching. You guys have been a great audience. Go ahead and click that subscribe button there in the bottom corner. You can get updates whenever a new video is posted. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Niklsun, Niklsun, for all of your movie updates. And you can also follow us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/Movie News with Niklsun. If you ever have a topic or a question you'd like to have talked about on the show, you can go ahead and put a comment in the comment section, or you can email me at movienewswithniklsun@gmail.com. And on every Friday episode, I'll try to get to as many as I can. But until next time, you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.